Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 30th of April. It's the first day of the trading series for the month of May. And yeah, it was a pretty good day. I mean, we opened gap down, and what happened was, despite opening gap down, the pricing of options was still pretty balanced, and a lot of positions started building up around 14,800. And for the longest part of the day, we were quite sideways. In fact, when I'm recording this, the market is still open, so but I have exited my position for the day, which is why I'm just heading out. But more or less was an alright day. There was a good amount of decay that happened for the first half of the day. Second half, we started showing some weakness. Reliance started heading down. Bank Nifty broke down below 33,000, and I took that as a good enough cue to exit. I decided to take an exit, not because I had achieved a target, but because I was trailing my stop loss and I wanted to get out with whatever points I captured. The other reason why I was more inclined towards exiting and not taking a risk-off trade is, during the course of the trade, call options lost an immense amount of value, very high amount of value, and there is a spike in put option IV. And in case there is a reversal, that put option IV spike might not come back down, whereas call options might expand quite immensely. So that being the case, it just made it overall not very good from a risk reward perspective to stay in a trade, and basis that I took my exit. The day was all right. I managed to return a little less than 2%. At the best point, it was probably up around 2.5%, and tried to re-enter a particular trade, got burnt on that because I had a very tight stop loss and I just cut out of the entire position. So that being the case, I hope you had a good trading day. Looks like the up move that we saw during the expiry was just expiry related and short covering driven. For now, there doesn't seem to be any clear upside, and we continue now what is feeling like months to stay in the 14,500 and 15,000 range, and yeah, the saga goes on. So I hope you have some takeaways from this video. I think if anything, the takeaway should be that when there's an IV spike in the open, you can benefit a lot if you have a very OTM strangle. And Fridays in general are going to be a good day to capture DK, because generally there's a weekend and a lot of long options positions get unwound unless there is some kind of a big move. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.
Want to meet like-minded traders and discuss option strategies, adjustments and more? Just type in Discuss Nifty in your Telegram search box and join the friendly trader community.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 9:20 and have just entered the position for today. We'll just go over what the idea is. We have gapped down, so looks like a lot of positive factors previously, yesterday especially, were mostly due to the expiry. If you see on a longer time frame, we're in this lower channel, and the idea is we will break out on the upside, because here the fear was overdone. So we will eventually break out on the upside. So this dip most likely is going to get bought, if not immediately, at least over time. Today itself, I'm not expecting much of a move because there are a lot of results and election results and whatnot coming up. So overall, being a Friday, should offer a good amount of decay and fall off on the premiums. Since we gap down, there's a spike in IV, so that's good, which means that most of those premiums by the end of the day, if we don't make a big move, should be taken away. So what is the idea for today? So roughly maximum call side open interest is at 15,000. So 15,200, which is definitely on the higher side of the range, and on the downside below, somewhere near the range of swing lows recently, so 14,300. So this is the range that we've taken. We've currently received about so for this 900 point triangle, it's currently trading at about 86, 85, 86. Okay, no, it's crashing as I speak. About 85, you can say. So it's a good amount of premium that is available on a Friday. And generally on Fridays, what happens, especially if there is not much of a move, is there can tend to be a lot of crash, because those who have gone long in options don't want to take the overnight risk for the weekend, and invariably tend to dump it off at quite cheap prices. Idea will be not to do any adjustments to this trade in a almost 250 point range, so on either side. That being the case, we'll keep you posted. The position sizing is also in a convenient situation where it should be all right to manage and take slight fluctuations here and there. So The time is 9:22. We'll keep you posted. More or less, the idea for the entire day will be to maintain a wide range and capture whatever TK is possible. Okay, so what's happening is IT is showing some strength. Bank Nifty gapped down, opened at around 33,000 and has found buying from there is up 300 points. Right now, once again, the idea is not to not make any changes to this position. We are taking resistance somewhere below yesterday's close, and the idea will be to continue to hold it exactly as is without any changes. In case we do make an up move and we then break yesterday's close and start heading higher, we'll be squaring off these 15,200 calls and moving them to 15,250, 15,300. But apart from that, not much else. Still happy with the range, even though the calls are now quite close, only 350 points away. Happy to hold the range exactly as is. Okay, the time is 11 o'clock and we've been extremely sideways, as was the idea. A lot of positions built up around 14,800 as well. And from the spike in the IV, there's been a considerable cool off. Strangle itself has benefited some 16 points, and we've lost 1 point on the hedging benefit hedges. And the rest of the day is going to be more or less trailing in. We can expect easily to gain another 10 points from here if we remain more or less plus minus 50 from here. So that being the case, we'll continue to hold and trade. Since we're up roughly under 15 points now, idea will be to take home 10 points regardless of what happens and trail in with the rest. I have entered a positional trade on Bandhan Bank. The idea behind the trade was that IV is currently very high, right? So at the money, IV is 80 and IV pay is 84. Premiums are very attractive. If we look at what has been happening to Bandhan Bank, it's a very, very low quality stock. So there's no big trade to be done here. It's just taking advantage of the fact that premiums are good and it's in a good setup. So you can see roughly this 300 zone, it is some kind of support, and this 360 region above 350 is some kind of resistance. So I wanted to enter an iron fly, but there's no liquidity, and if the price moves away, there won't be much liquidity at the 5 multiples. So I have sold the 330 put and the 340 call. So as a consequence of doing that, also some slippage, because not even slippage, just lack of liquidity currently in these options. And I have entered this position. I will manage it as in how it goes. So it's basically like a 10-point strangle, almost an iron fly sort of payoff situation. When IV falls, it should benefit the position overall by quite a bit. And in case there is a big drastic move, I will manage it by using broken wing iron flies and stuff like that. So we'll see that down the line. But the trade I found to be quite attractive, and I've taken for now. We'll keep you posted on what we change. We are now seeing the second dip for the day. Around 14,750 is where our 900 point strangle becomes equidistant from a spot. But basically, we gapped down, made this massive up move. So close to 150 points, and then now we've taken some kind of resistance here and started heading back down. Bank Nifty and IT are the main contributors for this, and our delta neutralizes here. So I'm gonna wait till here and not too much, as long as our strangle itself is not gaining too much in value, not too concerned about it. So for now, even though these puts had inflated a little bit, not too concerned, going to hold the position exactly as it is. Slight IV expansion on the puts, but then the calls are more than compensating at this point of time. So for now, no changes. Position is going to be exactly as is. Almost 4 hours left to go. We'll continue to hold the position as is. We'll keep you posted. Time is 11:40. Okay, the time is 12:30. We're more or less very sideways on Bank Nifty and the Nifty both. We had a second dip, and generally it's a slightly negative bias, but yeah, not a lot happening. And I've not had to make a single change to the position at all. We are up a good amount, up something like 17 points. So I'm going to continue to trail into the day. And yeah, half the day is done, half day to go. We'll keep you posted. So another trade I'm considering, and this will be towards the close, is a short straddle on IndusInd Bank. They have their results coming out today. So right now IV is moderately high and the range is pretty good. I hold IndusInd Bank more than a lot worth of shares. So the idea will be, if it hits to the lower side break even, I will potentially consider adding. I'll also do adjustments so I don't lose money on the trade. And if there's some kind of a big up move, then I will still have shares. So it'll be covered to an extent I can consider rolling and making upside adjustments. So this is a trade I will take towards the end of the day. Otherwise, it's more or less exactly where we've been in the market. Same range, same trade so far. No adjustments done. Okay, so something to note right now. Reliance is taking a dip. Results are in the evening. Probably wants to be around 2000. And 2000 will act as a support for Reliance. So we might see for the downside. Along with Reliance, Bank Nifty as well. Right now making a red candle, which is pulling us down. It's fine till 14,750 is tested and below. Will not be doing anything to the puts. Right now they spiked up a little bit, but overall the strength is still trading at 65.66. So more or less 1 o'clock at this point. I'm just trailing in the stop loss by 5 points, and if it expands to 70, we'll be getting out. But in case we have a continued down move, we'll slowly start risking off on the put side. We'll have to see if volumes pick up on Reliance as well. Yeah, Bank Nifty as well joining in on the party now. So we'll have to see if we head towards the day's low again. The calls are losing a lot of value really fast, so that is keeping the strangle value at 65.66, but it won't be effective for long if we take a steep dip. So we'll see what happens at 14,750. We'll see if that's basically where our strangle centralizes. We'll see if there is some kind of a runaway cascade. If not, we're not going to adjust. I need either like 15 minutes below 14,750 or a 30-40 point move in quick succession to risk off on the put side. Okay, so something to note is right now we're dipping, but Bank Nifty is about 38,000, so that will act as a support. We will buy, and the Nifty as well, we're dipping towards 14,750. Right now what it looks like is this dip is being used to sell the 14,500. So, and the positions at 14,800 continue to stay. But now we are dipping below 14,750. So the idea will be to wait and see if we hold below 14,750 for a while, or we cascade from here. Then we'll have to maybe partly risk off from the put side or exit the entire position, because now the calls have lost so much value. A reversal will really burn the calls. So wait and see. Still trailing the stop loss. Currently at a market of 8 lakhs. The down move benefits us because at this point exactly our strangle is perfectly centered. The puts have been pricing in an up move, so a down move, so they're not going to expand that much. And yeah, that being the case, we'll keep you posted. Time is 1:30. The real issue is if we start to cascade here from here with that. Yeah, Bank Nifty. Okay, we are now breaking the day's low, and spot is heading lower and lower. We are going to wait for 14,700 to get tested, and if 14,700 is tested, we'll cut out of the entire position, more or less. Reasoning is this call will protect till about 14,700 on the spot. Beyond that, it will not offer any protection, and if we have a big cascade from there, the put side IV will go through the roof. The strangle is trading at 60 to 63 in that range. The down move is fine because the puts were already pricing in fear to begin with, but yeah, cannot have it go. So basically 14,700 on the spot will actually act as a stop loss today. The reason for that is risking of the puts will not particularly help, because in case there's a reversal, the calls will burn absolutely. So That being the case, waiting for 14,700 on the spot. Okay, looks like some kind of free fall. I'm gonna just start getting out of the way. I just hope I don't get really burnt on the pricing. We'll wait and see if there's any reason to re-enter at a later point once we find some stability. But till then, we'll be exiting the trade as a whole. Okay, something wrong with the basket. I wasn't buying these, which are the problem. Buying back the calls. Okay, really not sure what's happening. I don't know if my orders are actually executed or not. Okay, that was stupid. The basket mis-executed. It removed me from the calls, but not from the puts. Wow, it's pretty messed up. The reason I'm exiting both is because calls have lost a lot of value in the down move. And in case this starts to be an up move, the calls will then really gain. Okay, we'll see if there is some kind of trade to take and enter in a bit, but for now, not gonna do much. Okay, I've just re-entered with the 14,200 put sold and 15,250 call. The idea is there was quite a spike of IV on the put side when we went down, and yeah, wanted to just benefit from that cooling off a little bit as we've taken support at 14,700. Now, that being the case, at the same time, I had to also move my calls away as well, because potentially what will happen now is if there is a big up move, the calls will expand immensely and the puts will not decay enough to compensate for that. So yeah, that being the case, we've got an hour and a half left to go, and currently this 1050 point strangle is trading at something like 45. We can consider a trailing stop loss of 3.5-4 points. That'll roughly bring us on a mark-to-market basis to about 6 lakhs. So that is the minimum that we want to take after today. And meanwhile, if we can benefit more from the put side IV coming down, that works as well. Okay, a major issue. I'm getting no response from the server as I'm trying to exit. Okay, great. That's more or less my stop loss for the day. So I'm just exiting everything at this point. The thing is, I just entered this position, so it makes it tricky to get out. I don't have my Excel sheet set up to exit this. Now, big put side IV spike happening. Okay, good enough. That should be the day, more or less. After that candle, no point this thing. And why bother trading on a day when this is happening? That is close to slightly under 2% of a return, and that's a good enough outcome. And yeah, what I
Thank you for watching. Please post any questions you have in the comment section. Also, do not forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. To find us on Twitter, Telegram and Facebook, use the username NiftyBN. Also, we post some of our trades to the community tab. So do not forget to check that from time to time.